Hello everybody, I'm Jackie K. Cooper, and as promised, this is my entertainment rundown part 2 because of all the movies that I've seen the last weekend or so. And again, we're going to have 2 major movies and 2 not so, well-known movies that we're going to be telling you about. But the first major movie that I want to talk to you about is Rocketman. This is the biopic of Elton John. And it's been talked about that it was coming. People got really excited about it, especially in light of Bohemian Rhapsody, which was the Freddie Mercury story that won Rami Malek an Academy Award for Best Actor. And so people said, hey, Elton John, he was more popular and even better known than Freddie Mercury, so this will be even better. No, it's not. And there are a lot of differences. The Bohemian Rhapsody movie was a story about an artist, and about what happened with them, and all the music came in concert footage. Rocketman tells the story of Elton John, but this is one where they're walking down the street and they just break into song. This is a musical in the Hollywood musical sense of the word. So you just have, spontaneous songs breaking out. Also, there's some concert footage of him performing in different clubs or in different arenas, but there are also these, sporadic outbursts that come along. Secondly, whereas Bohemian Rhapsody alluded to Freddie Mercury's homosexuality, Elton John being gay is a major focus of this film, and it affected his life. It had to, somehow it caused turbulence within his family that resulted in drug and alcohol abuse. The first person that he had as a partner was really abusive to him, so you get all of that negative attitude. And it's not the celebration of the life as it is, telling the raw spots and then recovery. But the music is there. And when you go see an Elton John biopic, you realize this man was brilliant. I mean, he really, really was. And Taron Egerton plays Elton John. He does a great job. But the real star is Jamie Bell, who is the co-star, who plays the guy who wrote all the lyrics, and their partnership and how they got through it. Richard Madden, who has been seen in a British TV series called Bodyguard, he plays the abusive, partner that Elton John had, and he makes an impression also. But the movie just didn't deliver on the entertainment that it had the potential to do. It's rated R because there is profanity and there are sexual situations. I scored the movie 5 out of 10. That's much less than I thought I would. But it wasn't the celebration of Elton John's life that I had hoped for, and it just, other than the music, didn't deliver what it should. Then we had a movie that I really was unaware of this film. It's called Katie Says Goodbye. It stars Olivia Cooke, an actress I've seen in other things, but she plays a 17-year-old who's living in just a dead-end town somewhere out west. There's a cafe, there's a body repair shop, there's a trailer park. That's basically all that seems to be there. But she works in the restaurant, she's a waitress, and then on the side she prostitutes herself. And she has a dream of going to California. And she just thinks that people are basically good, and when they're not, she picks herself up and moves right on. This movie also has a great cast. Mary Steenburgen is in it. Mary Enos is there. Jim Belushi, Christopher Abbott. They're all solid in their performances, but it all centers around Katie, played by Olivia Cooke, who is just brilliant in this role. I hope that you'll get a chance to see this movie because it is a story of survival and how this young woman, manages to take all the knocks that life throws at her, but she's kind of like Annie, from tomorrow, there's hope for tomorrow, and that's what comes across. Again, this one is not rated, but I would rate it R because of profanity, violence, and nudity. I scored it 7 out of 10. It is that good, and I hope you hunt it down and you get a chance to see it. Katie Says Goodbye. Then we have Dark Phoenix. This is the X-Men movie. They say it's the last X-Men movie, and maybe it is. But this tells the story of Jean Grey. This is kind of like another one of the X-Men, the younger years. But Jean Grey, who's played by Sophie Turner, is about things that happen to her, how the other X-Men try to gather around her, but she's kind of been taken over by an evil force headed up by an alien who takes on human shape and is played by Jessica Chastain. But all the old gang from the younger X-Men movies there, Michael Fassbender, Nicholas Hoult, Jennifer Lawrence, James McAvoy. That's some star power. And this movie has gotten a lot of complaints about it. I was entertained. It was an X-Men movie. It's good versus evil. I was okay with it. But, people think, oh, no, it's not as good as the other ones. This is just ending the series, etc. My only complaint was in the overall X-Men, history, I didn't really get where this movie fit into it. Maybe somebody can tell me that, but some of the plot lines in this and some of the things that happen to different characters, I'm thinking, wait, does that go on with all the other movies that have been created, the younger X-Men and then up to the older X-Men, the Hugh Jackman series, that type of thing. But Dark Phoenix is rated PG-13 for profanity and violence. I scored it 6 out of 10. I was entertained. I never got bored. I thought the special effects were good. I liked the storyline. I liked seeing all the characters again. So, hey, it's a thumbs up from me. Then, another small movie. This one's called Once Upon a River. And it's not rated, but it would probably be R for profanity, violence, and sexual situations. And it's about a young woman played by Canadi de la Serna, and she lives with her father. Her mother has abandoned them. He is Native American, and she lives with him. They live on the river, and then circumstances transpire where she wants to go looking for her mother. So she sets out on her own. She's only 15, 16 years old, but she wants to find her mother. So she kind of goes out on the river, takes a canoe, and paddles her way to different places. And along the way, she meets a variety of people who have an impact on her life. And that's the whole heart of the story. It doesn't, give a full story in my mind of what it should be, because there are gaps again. But it's different enough to hold your interest somewhat. And the performances are good, not great. So I could only score it 4 out of 10. And that, is not what we're looking for in entertainment. But that's what I had. But those are my 4 movies. You've got 2 big ones and 2 lesser known. The one I would ask you to really look out for is Katie Says Goodbye. Keep your eye out for that. But for now, this has been Jackie K. Cooper with Entertainment Rundown Part 2.